Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are tackling a source that is going to feel, I think, uncomfortably familiar to anyone who has ever, well, anyone who's ever tried to meditate, only to immediately lose their temper because the Wi-Fi went down.
Oh, yeah, totally.
We are looking at this document titled currentraised.pdf, and it is this massive, really dense text about spiritual growth, alignment, and tapping into this thing they call the Force.
It is a heavy read, for sure. Usually when we cover this kind of material, spiritual manuals or consciousness guides, they tend to be soup abstract.
Right, very lofty.
Exactly. They talk about the mountaintop experience. Sitting in silence, feeling the oneness of the universe, achieving total clarity.
Yeah, they give you the blueprint for being a Jedi Master, but they rarely tell you how to be a Jedi when you're stuck in line at the DMV.
And that is exactly why today is special.
Hmm.
We are zooming in on a very specific section of this PDF called the Emojiverse.
Which is essentially the blooper reel of enlightenment.
That's the perfect way to put it. So just to give you all a quick overview, the text follows a character called the Traveler. Now, the Traveler has just finished 31 chapters of intense spiritual work.
They've been busy.
Right. They have learned about witness consciousness, they've learned about alignment, and they've learned to feel the Force.
We should probably define those terms real quick before we throw the Traveler into the fire here.
Good call. So when the source talks about witness consciousness, it's referring to the ability to step back from your thoughts. Instead of being the angry person, you are the awareness watching the anger happen.
Like being the camera recording the movie rather than the actor in the scene.
Yes, exactly. And alignment is basically when your mind, your body, and your energy or your force are all moving in the exact same direction.
So the Traveler feels great. They feel totally integrated, and then the text just drops them into the emoji verse, which is basically just code for the real world.
The central conflict here is what happens when that infinite enlightened self collides with the messy, mundane chaos of modern life. And the source material actually dramatizes this in a way that's almost like a screenplay.
It's hilarious, honestly, but it's also kind of painful to read because it's so relatable. So to really get into the nuance of why this friction happens, we aren't just going to sit here and summarize it for you.
Nope, we are going to step directly into the simulation.
We're doing a performance. I am going to take on the role of the surface self. You know, the Traveler trying their absolute best to be spiritual in the real world.
And I will play the witness that detached, analytical part of the brain, and also step in as the various confused bystanders, bosses, and neighbors who have to deal with your highly spiritual behavior.
I am ready. I am aligned. Let's enter scene one, the grocery store witnessing meltdown.
All right, setting the stage, it is Tuesday, 11:47 a.m. The Traveler enters the grocery store. The goal, according to the text, is to shop from a place of pure awareness.
I actually remember this feeling. The automatic doors slide open, and I'm thinking, I am not just a shopper. I am a flowing entity of light. I don't need a shopping list. The universe will guide me to the nutrients I require.
The text actually calls this spiritual inflation. It's basically the ego hijacking your spiritual language so you can feel superior to all the normal people buying frozen pizza. But then you hit the very first obstacle, the eggs.
Okay, so my surface self says, we need eggs. We are out of eggs. Let's just go get the carton.
But the witness intervenes. As the witness, I say, I am noticing a desire for eggs. Who is the one that wants the eggs?
And as the Traveler, I'm like, what? It's not a desire. It's breakfast. I want to make an omelet.
Interesting. Notice the defensiveness. Are we attached to the concept of protein? Are we clinging to the rigid structure of breakfast?
I am not clinging. I am just hungry.
This is where the text points out a really common trap called overwitnessing. You are analyzing the impulse so much that you completely interrupt the flow of life. You aren't being aligned, you're just being annoying.
Oh, and it gets so much worse because we round the corner into aisle 7, the cereal aisle.
And suddenly, you are confronted with the abyss. 47 different types of cereal. Infinite choice.
Okay, just grab the Cheerios. We always get Cheerios
But why Cheerios?
because they are heart healthy.
Is that true, or is that a performance? Are we choosing Cheerios because we want to signal to the world that we are wellness people? What does this box say about our identity?
Oh my God, it's just toasted oats. Let me just grab it.
Is it, or is it a desperate attempt to control your own mortality through fiber? Look at the Frosted Flakes.
No, I can't look at the Frosted Flakes.
The inner child wants the flakes. The inner child wants the sugar. Are you repressing your inner child?
I am not repressing. I am an adult.
Then buy the Raisin Bran. That is the cereal of the responsible adult.
I hate Raisin Bran. I feel like I'm performing maturity if I buy it.
The text describes this exact moment as the paralysis of significance. When you try to make every single micro-decision a massive spiritual referendum, the whole system just crashes. 10 minutes pass, you are just staring at the boxes.
I'm literally sitting on the floor now. I have arranged 12 boxes in a semicircle. I am doing deep breathing exercises to connect with the grain.
Stepping in as the store employee now.
Yeah.
Sir, you're blocking the aisle.
Eyes closed, I say the aisle is a metaphor for the path.
Right. I'm going to get my manager.
And that's the snap, isn't it? The spiritual bubble just pops. The shame rushes in.
And this is key. The witness consciousness doesn't stop just because you're embarrassed. In fact, it gets even louder. Notice the shame. Notice the heat in the face. Notice the intense desire to crawl under the shelf.
And because I cannot handle the shame, I panic. I decide to go for radical non-attachment. If I'm truly enlightened, I shouldn't care what cereal I buy.
So what do?
I choose everything.
You start just throwing boxes into the cart.
Cheerios, Lucky Charms, Grape Nuts. I am transcending preference. I am embracing the totality of the cereal aisle.
You're clearing the shelf like a total maniac.
Cocoa Puffs, Fruit Loops. I am free from the burden of choice.
And we get to the checkout. You have 47 boxes of cereal. You have no milk. You have no eggs.
I have transcended eggs.
The cashier looks at you. That will be $347.82.
$300.
The witness has no attachment to money. Money is just energy.
The witness doesn't have to pay rent. The witness doesn't have a credit card bill. Okay, be cool. I am swiping the card.
Beep. PN denied.
What? Try again.
Beep. PN denied.
Why can't I remember my PN?
Because you were too busy witnessing the texture of the keypad instead of remembering the 4 digits you've used for 10 years.
This is the moment of total defeat. The line is staring at me. The cashier is staring at me. I have to abandon the cart.
You literally walk out of the store with 0 groceries.
Defeated.
Okay.
So we spent 2 hours there. We have no food.
But we learned so much about our attachments.
I am attached to eating. I went home and ordered a pizza.
And here is the redemption. The source points out, did you eat the pizza differently?
I actually did. I ate it in witness mode. I really noticed the cheese. I noticed the chewing. I noticed the self-loathing. And I ate that too. And then I whispered to the ceiling, I just wanted Cheerios.
So the lesson of scene 1 isn't how to shop spiritually. It's that the spiritual practice doesn't prevent the mess. It just helps you observe the mess with a little less judgment. Eventually.
Yeah, eventually. But before you get to the peace, you have to survive the night. Which brings us to scene 2, the 3 a.m. playlist spiral.
This section of the text focuses on samskaras. In this context, samskaras are deep mental grooves or habits. They're the songs your brain plays on repeat when you really aren't looking.
It is 3:17 a.m. The traveler's eyes snap open. And it's not a gentle waking, it's an emergency broadcast system waking.
And immediately your brain, which is supposed to be resting, decides to host a roast of your entire life history.
Hey,
Yeah.
you awake? I am now. What is it? Is there a fire?
No. I just wanted to remind you of that joke you made at Jessica's party in 2014.
Oh, God. The hedgehog joke.
Yeah. Remember how literally nobody laughed, and then you tried to explain the anatomy of a hedgehog to save the joke?
Please stop. I have worked through this in therapy.
Did you? Because I can still feel the silence in the room. It's right here.
This is the surface self under heavy attack. So I do what any modern spiritual seeker does. I reach for my phone to change the vibration.
You open Spotify. But the algorithm is a mirror of your past self. It knows your samskaras.
And what is playing?
Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
No, absolutely not. I am not this person anymore. I am a conscious being. I need to shock the system.
So you try to override the pattern with brute force.
I am putting on Slayer. Raining Blood, Volume Max.
At 3:24 a.m.
I am disrupting the neural pathways.
You press play, the heavy metal kicks in, you feel powerful for exactly 4 seconds, and then bang, bang, bang.
That's the wall.
Playing your neighbor Janet now.
Some of us have jobs, you maniac. Yelling at the wall. I am trying to break my life patterns, Janet. Metamorphosis is loud.
It is a Tuesday. Turn it off.
This is the conflict of environment versus alignment. You are trying to force an internal shift using external aggression. The text says this never works. It just creates more resistance.
Your phone buzzes. It's a text from your other neighbor, Steve. It just says, dude. WTF.
It's symbolic, Steve. You wouldn't understand.
You panic. You realize Slayer was a wrong choice. You need to pivot. You switch to Ocean Sounds. Max volume.
This is soothing. This is nature.
Now it sounds like a literal tsunami is hitting the apartment complex. Janet bangs on the wall again. What is happening over there?
Healing, Janet. I am healing.
It sounds like a marine documentary gone wrong.
Okay, I can't sleep. I have to fix this. I need to curate my reality. I start making playlists to fix my vibration.
You start frantically typing on your phone in the dark.
Playlist 1, Actual New Mary. Playlist 2, Transformation, but make it authentic. Playlist 3, 3 a.m. Thoughts, but musically. Playlist 4, Help.
It is now 4:47 a.m. You have created 23 playlists.
And here's the horror part. Every single one of them, I somehow add Mr. Brightside.
Why?
Because I can't help it. It's the groove. My thumb just drifts there automatically.
Exactly. The text uses this loop to explain that you cannot simply will yourself out of a pattern in the middle of the night. The more you fight the Mr. Brightside energy, the more it actually persists.
So what happens?
The phone glitches. It completely freezes. And it plays Mr. Brightside on a loop. You can't turn it off. You can't lower the volume.
It plays for 8 hours.
It plays for 8 hours straight.
Exhausted, I say. It is noon. I am sitting at the kitchen table. I am broken.
Janet comes over. She sees the heavy bags under your eyes. She hears the synth intro for the 400th time.
I'm sorry, Janet. I failed.
And what does Janet do?
She makes tea. She sits down.
Yeah.
And she says, actually, it's a catchy song.
And that is the resolution. Acceptance. You stop trying to be the Slayer version of yourself, and you just accept that right now, in this exact moment, you are the Mr. Brightside version.
The text says something really profound here. Surrender is not winning the war against your habits. It is dropping the weapon.
Which brings us to the final and perhaps most terrifying scene, because this one involves real professional stakes.
Scene 3, the Zoom call from hell.
Monday morning, 9:57 a.m.
This is where the rubber meets the road. I have spent the morning meditating. I've done the breath work. I am aligned. I am going to be the most present person on this call.
You log in. The camera turns on. The meeting starts. The boss looks at the screen and asks a simple, totally standard question. How was your weekend?
And this is where the text describes the fragmentation.
Yes. In a split second, your unified self shatters into 4 distinctly different voices.
First, there is the mind, the overthinker. It goes, okay, what did I do? I can't say I stared at cereal boxes for an hour. I can't say I fought with Janet about heavy metal. I have to sound normal. What is a normal human hobby? Do I hike? Have I ever hiked?
Then there is the body. It completely freezes. You forget how your lips work. You forget how to breathe. You are just staring at the camera, mouth slightly open.
Then there is the force, the energy body. Just leaves. It abandons the ship entirely. It's floating away, thinking about a sandwich and specific types of mustard.
And finally, the witness. The witness is just watching this disaster unfold and thinking, wow, look at this complete fragmentation. Look at the sheer panic in the eyes. Fascinating.
The silence lasts 8 seconds. In Zoom time, that is a decade. My boss asks, are you frozen?
And because you are trying so hard to be spiritual, you can't just lie and say it was good. You feel compelled to be authentic.
So I blurt out I had a very integrating weekend.
The whole team just stares at you, integrating.
Yes, like mind, body, force, integration. It was really aligned.
Your coworkers, Sarah and Mike, are making intense eye contact with each other's camera squares.
Internally, I'm screaming, abort, abort, say something normal. So I say, I also watched a documentary.
As Mike, I jump in. Oh, yeah. Which one?
About the ocean.
Which ocean documentary?
The blue one.
The witness is just sitting back saying, the blue one. Brilliant save.
I'm drowning here, so I try to pivot back to work. I try to apply my spiritual insights to the meeting agenda. Guys, for this quarterly spreadsheet, I think we need to approach the data from an aligned place. Like, are we bringing our full mind, body, and force to the pivot tables?
Everyone stops typing. Sarah asks, what is force?
It's like your energy, your vibe.
Mike chimes in, your vibe. We need to bring our vibe to the Q3 projections.
Yeah. My vibe is integrated with my mind and body.
You're trailing off. You realize exactly how this sounds. You sound like you just joined a cult.
The boss says, I'm going to send you some wellness resources after this call. Why don't you take the rest of the day off?
Mike messages you privately.
Yeah.
Bro, just log off. You look crazy.
But I refuse. My ego shouts, I'm not broken. I am integrated. I don't need the day off.
And the meeting just ends abruptly. The boss ends it for everyone.
You are left totally alone in the Zoom room. Just your face on the screen. A single tile. Haunted by the leave meeting button.
A person who can name the force but cannot answer how was your weekend.
I click leave meeting. Okay, breaking character for a second. What is the actual takeaway here? Because these scenes are really funny, but they are also deeply painful. They feel like utter failure. I failed the grocery store, I failed the playlist, and I definitely failed the Zoom meeting.
The source text argues that they're actually necessary failures.
How so?
Well, the emojiverse concept suggests that you cannot bypass your humanity to get to your divinity. You have to take the messy part of you that forgets peon numbers, yells at neighbors, and says awkward things on Zoom. You have to take them along for the ride.
So the goal is to become this perfectly smooth person who never glitches.
No, not at all. The goal is to be the person who glitches, notices it, and, crucially, doesn't spiral into self-hatred because of it. The witness isn't there to scold you for wanting Frosted Flakes. It's just there to say, look, the human wants sugar. How interesting.
It's about having a sense of humor about yourself.
Precisely. The text explicitly says the antidote to the gravity of spiritual work is the levity of the emojiverse. Because, honestly, the final boss of enlightenment isn't darkness or fear. It's spending 45 minutes on a thread arguing about whether a hot dog is a sandwich or forgetting to text people back. If you can't laugh at your own attempt to be holy while yelling at your neighbor Janet, you aren't actually enlightened. You're just rigid.
That is a massive relief, because I felt like I was doing the whole meditation thing wrong this whole time.
You didn't do it wrong. You just had a very intense curriculum that day.
So for everyone listening out there, if you have ever tried to be a better version of yourself and ended up doom scrolling at 2 a.m. or saying something totally weird in a work meeting,
You are right on track. That is the work. The work isn't the silence on the yoga mat. The work is the chaos in the checkout line.
I think I'm going to go buy those eggs now.
Just don't overthink the brand.
I'll try not to, but if I come back with 47 boxes of cereal, you know exactly what happened.
I'll be waiting. But before we go, here is a final provocative thought to chew on. The text asks us to identify with the witness, the observer. But if the witness is just watching and the surface self is just panicking, who is the one that actually decides to press play on the music? Who is the driver?
Oh, wow. That is way too much for a Tuesday. I'm just going to go with the Force.
Works for me.
See you next time on The Deep Dive.